Jay here for Stretford, Paddock. That's Ronaldo Brown. That's Joe Smith. Manchester United 2, Brentford 1. A relatively easy game. United never in danger there. Pretty comfortable from the offset, and then, Brentford get a late consolation goal. That's how it went down, innit?
Something like that, yeah.
Something like that.
Not
quite. Brentford took the lead, and United, through Scott McTominay, getting a 93rd minute equaliser and then a 97th minute winner. Football, bloody hell, as a great man once said. Joe, you've got obviously the comments there as well, so everyone get involved in the chat. And the comments, me and you were on the watch along, and you asked me, and I think you and Ronnie both asked me, what are the odds on us getting an equaliser, let alone a winner in like the 88th minute? I think you asked me that, and I said like 10-1. I didn't see that happening. I didn't see us turning that game on its head. We looked like we run out of ideas. We looked like we run a little bit out of steam. It just felt like it was going to be another one of those days that we've had far too often of late. But then Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire as well. There's a combo that we've not said for a little while.
It's multiversal.
The multiverse is just what's going on. I feel like we're in a different sort of another dimension. It's all happening, isn't it? So like, what's going on here? Is this 2021 all over again?
Jay, you forgot we had Scotland's best striker on the pitch.
Yeah,
that's what you
I thought his best centre half. We said.
Well, he's their best centre half.
Yeah, he's their best striker. Best midfielder and their best centre half.
He's either equal or standalone leading goal scorer in the Euros qualification.
Right. Okay.
Or local whatever.
Yeah.
This guy is a proven goal scorer, Scott McTominay.
I mean, what the thing is, right? When that substitution was made, part of me was thinking, right, I was going to make a sarky comment about it.
Yeah.
Like, McTominay's coming on here. But then there was a little thought in my head, I thought, he might get his head on somewhere.
Because the thing with Scott McTominay, he can get a goal, and not just for Scotland this season. He can actually finish. He's got a decent finish. He's composed in front of a goalkeeper, which is surprising for someone who his touch isn't always great.
Well, he was a striker in his academy days.
But so was everyone.
Yeah, it does seem much more natural in the final third in terms of getting on the end of things and scoring rather than anything else. But the way the game was going in the second half anyway, I think I did tweet it, the game state wasn't really set up for us to equalise with the personnel that we had on, because we only had Højlund. Højlund is the only person that was a box presence in that second half. And the way that Brentford went into that back five, they've got the likes of Pinnock and Collins in the box, who are basically aerial duel monsters. Crossing the balls in, getting the ball out wide, we didn't have anyone in there other than Højlund, which isn't enough against them type of defenders.
No.
To kind of equalise, I thought the way the game was going, it was like, we need more than that. And obviously, bringing McTominay on, you'd look at that initially and think, McTominay, he's been shite for a long time, he's been poor. But one thing he does bring, it's an extra person that does provide that threat in the box. And he did show that on 2 occasions. And so that was a good bit of management from Ten Hag, actually, because I thought we needed some more presence in the box. Martial's not exactly that type of player, but McTominay is. And he paid dividends.
We needed a lot in that game. Yeah. We needed a lot. From the 90th minute, I'm sat there, my brain is thinking, this is the beginning, not even the beginning, this is the middle of the end for Ten Hag. This run of form that we're on is absolutely disgusting. Yeah. And this game in particular, like you said, how if we're set up in terms of being set up to score goals, or whether the players on the pitch are capable of scoring goals, we did not look close to scoring. The players didn't really look like they're getting the ball in the box. I was at one point sort of pre-commentating what the players were going to do correctly, in that we would give it out to the right-hand side, look up, there's only Højlund in the box, or there's 2 players in the box to their 6. Right, we'll pass it back inside, go back to the left-hand side, look up, pass it back in. Like, it was proper Van Gaal, that horseshoe in front of their defence.
So what's at half time? A lot of our attacking play in the final third, it's not very fluid. Players don't really seem like they're in unison.
No.
It looks very like, everything looks deliberate, unforced, too much thinking involved. Players don't look confident. We didn't really look like getting back into it. Them 2 goals, it almost feels like United have done a smash and grab against Brentford at Old Trafford.
The thing is, though, we're at a point where we can't pretend that we're above that at the minute.
No.
So that's the thing. Like, if we were going for a Premier League title, or we're reigning champions, you'd think, what's going on? We are awful at the moment. Things aren't working. We've got loads of injuries. The players look like they can't be arsed. Some players are massively out of form. He's taken off Casemiro at half-time. He's taken off Rashford after 66 minutes because they're underperforming. We needed just a bit of luck and something to go our way, and just to get to the international break with a win, just even if that builds a tiny bit of confidence for next time, because we are in such a state at the minute. A smash and grab at home against Brentford is all we can expect. And I didn't even think we'd get that. So I'll take that. I'll take that.
I'll take that. I'll 100% take that because I think we definitely needed it. You're almost seeing, like, do you see some of the players' reactions? Obviously, you saw McTominay's reaction. You saw a lot of the players' reaction, obviously, when we scored, but you also saw after the final whistle. There was like a sense of relief almost, but it was almost like something was almost lifted a little bit. I think after a game like that, where you have come back and the whole euphoria of scoring 2 and pulling off a win like that, I think maybe the international breaks come at a bit of a wrong time in terms of maybe it was something that we could have built upon. But also, I think if we did lose that game, it would have been trouble. I think post international break, Ten Hag would have pretty much had like a month or so to save his job with a difficult run of fixtures. It seemed like it was trending in that direction, not even from just performances, but from the way the players looked. Because I think a lot of the time when managers are sacked, it generally comes from, you can visually see the players have almost checked out a little bit.
Exactly.
And they almost need that whole new manager bounce, because that is a genuine thing. Because I've experienced it where you play for teams, a new manager comes in and everyone has a little bit of a, I want to do my bit because he might like me, or do you know, or like that little bit of a resurgence almost. I think we was kind of sleepwalking into a very, very, very poor season because it seemed like everything wasn't working. And people talking about the fact that we've had injuries and players coming back. We had the midfield start today that we've been wanting to start for however long, and it still didn't look any better.
No, it didn't. I said that before the game. That was, for me, our strongest available midfield. We're poor. Casemiro getting subbed. Marcus, who's been out of form for a little while now, him getting brought off, like you said. The good thing, if we want to just be positive about this, because there's negatives we can get into, but the good thing about that is you spoke about the celebrations at the end, Ronnie. Like Onana and McTominay hugging each other, because obviously Onana's still going to get pelters and he's still going to get scrutinised, but he's not cost us the game now. His mistake hasn't cost us a game, where if we'd have lost, people would have said Andre Onana for the second game running has cost us a game. Now it's different. He's made a mistake, but we've still won the match. So it gives him a little bit of bit of breathing space. Gives the manager that sort of little bit of breathing space in terms of sticking with him and going, look, he's still my guy. You've also got the fact that whilst we were second best, far too often you were doing the duels at half time and we were second best all over the pitch almost. We still had that belief going into that 97th minute to get that winner. You can't discount that. We still kept going. Yes, we might have been running out of ideas, but people didn't just go, do you know what, this game's done.
I will say that at the end of the game, United did look like there was the players were kind of like trying at least. Because that's what a lot of we've criticised them recently for almost seeming like they're not doing. And that's the reward you get. You get 2 goals at the end, Fergie time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's that's like it. That was what United used to be like. Remember when you watched United when we were 1-0 down in games at Old Trafford and there was 5 minutes left and you still feel like we could win the game? You're still confident about it.
Seen it. We did, didn't we? We did it. You know, I was saying to you, like, during the watch along, I know it's completely different, but like, you know, Sheffield Wednesday games, Steve Bruce, you know, I was watching the Beckham documentary. Those were the games. The Scousers, we did it in the FA Cup when we won the treble, obviously the final and stuff. It was like, we won it in Fergie time. It was a thing, wasn't it? It seems to have gone out the window that a little bit at United recently, where it's like, if we're losing, we lose. We don't even draw. With the game's done, we lose. And it felt like that going into that 90th minute. Bringing McTominay on felt like the just last final roll of the dice. Like, look, you know, he can finish and get his head on things. We're getting a few set pieces. Let's just hope for the best. Yes, there's an element of luck there because we've had these chances before where it wasn't falling right. But there was also a determination. Garnacho, I thought it'd gone out. He didn't. He kept it in, getting that ball in, keeping it alive. McTominay obviously getting the ball. Maguire getting forward. Fair play to him. He's had more stick than most people getting that ball in for McTominay. And McTominay's header as well. We've had headers like that in the past where it's been too near the keeper, there's not enough on it. It was in a perfect spot. There was enough on it, so the keeper got an answer to it. Well, it didn't matter. So it's a good finish, good ball, and a good end to that game. Yes, there's issues there that Erik ten Hag's got to sort out. But he's also got some positivity there. We've got a win. We've shown we can show a bit of resilience. We've also got, I know Lindelof went off, which might be a worry, but I think Reguilon's due to come back. We can hopefully, I think the issue with Varane isn't too serious, so we can hopefully get some defenders back in. So you can go, okay, after this international break, the Sheffield United game there is a game that you can go into with more players on the back of a win, hopefully a bit of confidence, and start building on this.
Another thing I definitely did notice is Anthony coming on. It's not like he looked a little bit rusty. He didn't exactly set the world alight when he came on, but he's still. There's a lot of things that he does that go unnoticed in terms of the way the team functions. I think we sustain pressure a little bit better and controlled the game a little bit better, especially the last 20 minutes. I know that Brentford dropped deeper with Anthony on that right, because one thing he does do is he holds his width and he's a good retainer of the ball. He's technically good. And I think him coming back into the team might actually be a little bit of a positive. I know we want more assists from him. You want him to mix up his game a little bit more.
Definitely.
You want him to finish his chances. But when we talk about injuries and having players unavailable, him coming on in that second half, he did provide a little bit of a better balance. I know it was still a bit of hard graft, but I feel like he does need to be commended for that, because I know he's come under a lot of scrutiny. But I think there was definitely a little bit of a shift when he come in terms of control. Rather than when you've got the likes of Bruno and Mount on the right, who are not very natural in terms of holding their width, and they're a little bit more chaotic in possession than Anthony is. Do you know what I mean? Anthony might be too safe sometimes, but there's positives when you've got a player that does help you control the ball in that area, and I think that we kind of reap the reward in the end by sustaining pressure and getting on the end of it.
Yeah. I want to hear from some of the comments.
Yeah, we've got loads of comments.
Go on, I'll let you
super
get
chats.
into them. Please do get your comments in. We want to hear from you guys.
Sean Thomas says, apologise for your post-Bayern commentary on Scott. No, of course not. Iron Man Burnfoot says, is McTominay Ten Hag's Mark Robbins? Who'd have thought?
Oh yeah, Mark Robbins there for Fergie against Forest back in the day. Got us that winner. Maybe he is. Maybe this is that point where you go, if we'd have lost this game, he'd have been in serious trouble. We didn't. We won it. This was the turning point. And let's just on that about Scott. So against Bayern Munich, I thought it was awful. Against Brighton, I thought it was awful. He's come up today and he showed what he can do.
Won us the game.
Yeah, that's what I want to see. I'm not going to pretend that I have been underwhelmed by Scott McTominay this season. I have been, but today he was a match winner.
And also, that's ridiculous. Someone does something bad, and then weeks later, they do something good. You don't go, remember that bad thing I thought you did, but you didn't do that now because you did something good 2 weeks later. That's not how life works. What you talk like, of course not. You can do something bad and get criticised for it, and then do something really good and get praised for it without one cancelling out the other. That's just obvious.
It's good to see though, this question about certain players, and we've had this. There's been insinuations, there's been reports, there's been rumours that certain players just don't want to know. And everyone's assumed it was like Maguire, like McTominay, because they're the ones not getting picked. They're the ones that were regulars under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and so even under Ralph Rangnick or whatever, and they've been dropped. So it's like there's certain players that aren't happy and Yeah, they've shown that today that they are willing to do what it takes to get United over the line. Harry Maguire
getting the assist.
I don't really think he was at fault for the goal either. Lindelof made a mistake.
I don't think Maguire had a bad game today, to be honest. He had a
I thought Evans was good today.
Yeah. I thought Evans was decent. I thought Maguire had a sort of under the radar game, which is probably what he needed, really.
Yeah, just one of them. Like, he did that against Crystal Palace in the Carabao as well.
I mean, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, because as you said, we need to take the positives, because I think we definitely needed that victory. But we do know that there's definitely some kinks to work out from an overall performance standpoint, because we won't always have McTominay nicking a brace at the end of the game to save us.
We will. That's what
I mean.
That's the new policy of Manchester United. That's the new tactic.
Well, on that, Joshua Hong with the super chat says, now that's more like the theatre of dreams. And I want to talk about Heaven Soul's comment as well, because I assume this is legit. He said, for the first time in their Premier League history, Man United have trailed a game going into the 90th minute and then gone on to win it.
I think the Sheffield Wednesday game was 90th minute. I think Steve Bruce scored in the 92nd and the 96th minute.
Was it 1993?
Yeah, 93. I'm going to challenge that statistic.
Let's have a look.
Because I got let in 10 minutes to go. Because it was when they used to open the gates and you could just walk in. Because I was only 13. But I think it was in my memory, it was added time when he got those 2 goals.
Let me see. I'll find it.
Can you find it?
Yeah, I've got it.
Go
on. So let's have a look. Does it say what time the goals went in? 86 and 90.
No.
Well, that's I mean.
What?
I'll find another one. I'll find another backup option. 86 and 90.
No, I thought that was the night. That's mad.
There you go.
I thought it was like the 92nd and 97th minute. That's crazy.
Never happened before until today.
Jesus
United
Christ.
scoring 2 goals to win a game, or certainly coming back from being in a losing position in the 90th minute. That's the ultimate Fergie time.
Mate, that is unbelievable.
I
can't believe we've never done that before. I was certain that one, and I thought there might have been others as well, but if that's the start, that's the start.
Because if you think you can score late winners and it be an amazing comeback, but not going to like the end of the game, 90th minute.
We've actually on that front as well. I think
still been behind.
We've got footage of the goal, our very own footage
that we recorded in the game.
We recorded Kofi B on the socials. If you want to.
Begin. One more.
Could have been at Old Trafford.
It says the sheer irony of Maguire assisting McTominay for the 97th minute is hilarious.
Irony. All the irony.
Edgar Samuel says apt that it was Scott who won it for us in Fergie time.
Yeah.
There you go. See?
Yeah, nice.
PJ says Bruno and minus Rashford equals win.
Oh.
Interesting just on that then, because obviously great win, massive victory that, but still work to do in terms of like how United are playing. I think the saving grace is we've seen United can play a lot better than this with mostly these same players last season.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm not being tricked into believing that this is just how good we are, and we've got to expect to lose most games this season. United won more games last year than pretty much anyone else in Europe, or I can't remember what the stat was, but it was something ridiculous. Ten Hag won more games in his first season than any other United manager in the first season. I think that was it. Like, we aren't a bad team. He isn't a bad manager. We need something to go our way. I think confidence, again, is a massive part of this. I think games like today will go a massive way to sort of turning the season around. If it can be turned around, I don't know if it's too far gone, but if it can, this is exactly what we needed, isn't it? Surely, some people in the comments saying, oh, I'm not celebrating Scott McTominay scoring 2 goals. There's still too many problems. But surely these are the sorts of things that turn these seasons around, if they're going to be turned around.
Yeah, we've kind of been here before, so go on.
No, because if we do have a positive end to the season, these are the type of games that you look at and think.
Yeah, we needed this.
That was when things changed, and things need to. Do you know what I mean? Because I really, really, really... Because it did feel like when the euphoria, when the McTominay goal was scored, we were jumping about, running around the studio. But there was also that relief feeling.
Yeah.
And I'm desperate for United to kind of capitalise on that and build on it, because what I don't want now is us to go into the games post international break and then kind of go back into how I was performing, and we get this kind of false sense of security from the 2 goals that McTominay scored.
That's what I was going to say to you, because you remember under Moyes, we went into the international break, we had Arsenal at home, didn't we? Robin Van Persie scored the winner. And he'd been on things that started going wrong for Moyes a little bit. Well, more than a little bit. And that was the game just before international break. We won 1-0. Van Persie, I think it was a late winner. I don't think it was injury time, but I think it was late on in the game. And everyone was like, right, this is it now. This is the turning point. We come back after the international break. We've got a bit of momentum. We've got like a positive. Let's say we go, this is where we're going to turn the season around. And we came back, and I think we drew the next 2 games. I think we drew 2 relatively winnable games, and that just sort of killed that straight away. So you want to you want to build on it, you want to keep going, and you want to sort of just get your house in order a little bit. It feels like we're all over the gaff at the minute. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got a goalkeeper who's just letting in everything that goes near him. You've got Marcus Rashford, who scored 30 goals last season. It looks like he's just
can't keep clean sheets.
Bruno's just giving the ball away. Casemiro looks like he's done. He looks like he's finished, and I don't think he is. But he's playing like that.
I'm going to be honest. The way that Casemiro's playing now, he shouldn't start.
I agree.
I think took off at half time. I don't think he will.
I don't think he should.
That wasn't injury.
Because Casemiro is now a liability out of possession and in possession. And what he is now is, if I term it, he's a net negative to the team. I think Casemiro. His ball progression in the first phase, he's not good enough at the moment. He's giving the ball away. He's almost his positioning as well. I feel like he's lunging into areas he shouldn't be. He's running around. He's leaving our defence exposed. He's just not. Even his dual success, he was basically a dual success monster last year. I think this season his dual success is around 28% or something, which is absolutely horrid.
I know.
And I think he's hurting the team. I think we need to give him either some time on the bench or whatever, but at the moment we can't just play him because of his name, because he's hurting the team.
I completely agree with that. I think that Amrabat looks better in a minute, and I like even Hannibal or something. I know it sounds crazy bringing a 20-year-old over Casemiro, but Hannibal's looked good when he's played for United consistently recently. Do you know what I mean? When he's played, he's done well. Casemiro, I agree with everything you said. I mean, I know he's done well in terms of getting goals and stuff, and he's had some good games, but overall, this season, and even towards the back end of last season, at times he wasn't great. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel there's something going on with Casemiro. I'm hoping it's not like he's done or whatever, everything that dramatic, but certainly not playing as well as he can do. What are people saying in the chats and the comments?
Yeah, someone asking, was that stat about United never going in the... It was in the Premier League, to answer your question. We've never in the Premier League been losing after 90 minutes and won the game until today. John says, play like that against City, you're done for. Okay, cool. We won't then. I don't know. What's are you a City fan? I don't, you know. We weren't very good, but we won, so that's all we care about. KCV Music says, I'm still confused why I bought Onana this summer when other areas of the pitch seem way more lacking. But I think we bought players in the areas of the pitch that were most lacking. We brought in 2 central midfielders. We've brought in a striker. Like, it's not like we've not bought a goalkeeper. What was more lacking than central midfield and striker?
The issue is with United are filling holes in the transfer market in the summer, and then they're failing, and then we're having the same holes again the following summer. We're not making signings where it's like, oh, they're a staple. We can basically focus on other needs in other areas. Because now we're looking at the right wing market again because of Anthony's underperformance and Sancho obviously falling out with Ten Hag. Sancho and Anthony, how much is that in transfers for white wingers?
170 million or something, 160 million maybe.
And now it looks like right wing will be a need again.
Yeah.
And now look, it looks like right wing will be a need again. And that's, see how crazy that is? We're going to have to spend something like that again.
Didn't we spend I know it's different, but didn't we spend something on Palestri as well? Like, it was like 20 million or something. So it's like there's a total there about 160, 170 million. And like you're saying, and it needs reinforcing. That's unreal. Scott McTominay, on the in the quotes there, I think if you can just zoom on in it, he says, talking about is on the instructions when he came on, he said it was very loud, the fans were roaring us on, so I couldn't hear fully. He probably said something like, go on and score, which is what I did. Mate. I've also got a Bruno Fernandes quote as well. It says, this is Manchester United. Even if you win 10 games in a row and lose one, it's a crisis straight away. We're not having the results and points we have to have, but it's about getting the focus back after the international break. Yep, I agree. Good stuff, man. I mean,
why couldn't you hear the manager? We've all been in Old Trafford. You can never not hear the person next to you that it is so loud. Also, he's not stood next to fans. The nearest other person that's shouting to them is 15 feet away.
There's probably something scientific in that, innit?
You think that's possible?
Where like they're down in the centre of the stadium.
Yeah. But do you think he's just saying that as a bit of a joke, or do you think he means that?
The ambience is like surrounding.
It's like bolting into their ears.
I don't know, you know.
That's not possible, is it?
I don't know,
I think he's taking... What is that?
No, because a lot of professional footballers say you can't really hear each other.
No, each other. He stood next to Ten Hag on the touchline, he means, before he goes on.
He might have... That might be him not saying, but saying he's zoned out.
Just weren't listening.
Do you know what I mean?
I thought, fuck it.
He heard Ten Hag, but he didn't listen.
Yeah. That's more like
that
it.
More
Do you know what I mean?
I
Rather than going,
hear him.
You can't really say, yeah, I wasn't listening to him.
Have you ever not been able to hear the person next to you?
Loads of times.
Really?
Yeah, but then
He probably hit Ten Hag with the. Yeah.
I doubt Eric Ten Hag's had 12 pints of Stella before the game, like my mates have.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I doubt Eric Ten Hag's
definitely hit Ten Hag with the. Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, nice one. I will do. Yeah,
that's crazy, bro.
I'm just getting up.
We need the footage. We need the footage of him taking them instructions with that one.
That's crazy. And they went on the pitch. You ain't even not listened, but you got to play it off.
Yeah, mate. There's a story of my life in my house, that one. You start panicking when he stops talking, you think, I've got to it.
Alex Lilly, in the comments, who's someone who I know, says, thoughts on the correlation between Rashford getting a new contract and then his form almost immediately going to pot?
I struggle
too much expectation,
to believe the idea that he's just thought, right, I've got my deal now, I'm giving up.
But he said about too much expectation. Maybe not necessarily he's given up, but he's...
Yeah, there's an element of that. I think it's confidence with Rashford, and I think the trouble with Marcus Rashford is, right, people make this assumption too often with footballers because, like, they might drive a big car or a nice car and they might have a bit of bling or whatever or covered in tattoos. Think he's confident, he's cocky, he ain't going to lose any confidence. Players lose confidence.
Yeah.
You can be someone who's been playing for United for 8 years and scored over 100 odd goals, whatever it is, and suffer from confidence and suffer from a loss of it, and you can tell. And I think the trouble is sometimes people look at that, and when you lose confidence, the symptoms are almost the same as you being a bit lazy.
Yeah.
It's like your head drops. You're not chasing things you should, or you're not feeling like you're going to get there. So I don't know. I think it might be confidence. Maybe you disagree. But listen, I'm going to wrap it up there. Have you gone through all the super chats?
Yes.
Right. Ronaldo, where can people find you?
Find me, Ronaldo Brown _98 on the X.
The X, yes. You know where to find Joe Smith on the Stretford Paddock and also on Sloppy Joe's. Me as well, Jay Moy. Going to be back in a little while with Andy Tate getting his post-match reaction. He's coming straight back from Old Trafford. Plus, we'll get all the usual suspects as well as Manchester United go into the international break on the back of an epic win over the mighty Brentford. Thanks for watching.